Cheshire's Mix56, 25 to 10. There's Bruce Springsteen. Delighted to say now our special guest this morning, Ben Stiff and Chris Bent from Warrington Wolves Foundation. Firstly, Ben, always good to see you. How are things?
Yeah, things are going well. Obviously, as we were just saying, season's kicked off to a good start.
What a great win at home as well. And full capacity at the stadium as well on Friday night.
Yeah, something like the biggest audience we've had in 53 years, something like that. You know, I mean, great atmosphere, and you couldn't have asked for a better start to the season.
Great buzz, and let's hope it's going to be a great season, because last year we'd write that one off now. Well, we go again. I mean, just tell us about Warrington Wolves Foundation, because we hear the name Warrington Wolves and then the foundation. We think it's directly involved with the club and they get the money and all that, and you guys get the money from the club, but it's not that, is it? So just tell us about Warrington Wolves Foundation.
Yeah, so the foundation is completely separate from the club. You know, we use the name Warrington Wolves, and we have the honour to be able to use the badge. You know, we always say the power of the badge allows us to do so many things. But we are standalone. We don't receive any funding from the club. We're a registered charity and rely on donations and grant funding and bits like that to keep doing all the work we do in the community, really.
And what do you do in the community?
Oh God, what don't we do? We've got four main pillars of the foundation. So we've got our rugby league work in schools and like pathways up to scholarship and academy. We've got our disability work for disability dance, drama, sport, loads of bits there. Health and wellbeing on helping people get fit and healthier, whether it's men's mental fitness or women's empowerment group, and then education as well. So going into schools, we've got a Duke of Edinburgh project coming up. So a bit for everyone, really. It
is amazing. And there was a story last year that really hit home with me. There was a lady who lost her husband. They'd gone to see all the games and she'd lost her husband. She was in a care home. And you guys go and collect her in the minibus and take her to watch the game, and that brings so many great memories back to her. That's wonderful stuff.
Yeah, that'll be Madge, that one. I know the one you're talking about. She's a lovely lady in Three Elms Care Home. And she's one of many that come to the game and have match buddies, basically support, and so they can enjoy the game as well, because you know, everyone should be able to come and watch the game.
There's something about coming together, and for her it must bring so many happy memories of her husband back as well.
Yeah.
You know?
But she's one of so many that have all these amazing stories, and it's impossible to tell them all. But when you do hear them, you go, wow, that's amazing. That, you know, the work that the foundation do to support people like that. You know, there's nothing else.
And you've been doing your walks around the stadium as well, your health walks and all that kind of thing. So much going on, really.
Oh God, yeah, it's hard to keep on top of all of it.
It is, yeah. Now we caught up with you guys because there's something very special coming up, and Chris Bent is with us now. Chris, you're the historian, really, and you know everything about Warrington, I believe. So that's good to know.
I know lots of people who know lots of things about Warrington.
Oh, well, yeah. But of course, what's happening, and we saw this on Granada Reports, they covered this story last week, which is great. But basically, during World War I, how many players from Wolves actually went to war, Chris?
Yeah, we think there were around 90 that went over to war during the First World War.
Yeah.
And of those, 11 tragically didn't come back.
Okay.
And the remarkable thing of this story is that 10 of those died on the Western Front within probably about 95 miles of each other, so no great distance.
No. And these guys were playing in the rugby club and all the matches, and there's somebody that was mentioned in the Granada story, George Thomas. Now, he was quite a wild character, I believe, on the pitch.
He was involved in nearly 400 minutes, as you say, and he played in the first Challenge Cup final win in 1905, 2 Challenge Cup wins. And when you read of his playing career, he was outspoken. I think he was often in trouble with referees. He was the one when the club went on strike. He spoke to the crowd at Wilderspool to explain why they'd gone on strike. And I think when you then look at his war career, and he was a really brave man, you think, well, he's the same chap when he's at war. He's outspoken. He's done for swearing at a non-commissioned officer, and he's given 7 days field punishment number 1.
Okay.
Which basically is putting him on something that looked like a crucifix, roped him in
for
hours. Yeah, it's kind of the pain of that and the embarrassment of fellow soldiers walking past you. 2 days after he was pulled off that, he was killed in the Battle of the Somme.
Oh, wow.
You kind of wonder. We've said we kind of wonder what his mental state must have been.
And,
But so it's so wonderful for us to bring that story to life and go and stand on the ground where he fought, and sadly he's one of half of these 10 that we're going to see. Their bodies were never recovered.
And of course, the nickname for Warrington Wolves is the Wire, because of wire making in Warrington. And lots of the barbed wire that was used in the war was made in Warrington.
It was. Probably people don't recognise that, but Warrington has a massive history for the First World War.
Yeah, and obviously we wanted to kind of bring this to our listeners' ears today because it's quite a big challenge what you're going to be doing. You just showed me some of the notes there, and it is like a military operation, this, Chris, isn't it? Tell us what's happening.
We've got, the foundation have done a charity cycle ride pretty well every year. And the idea came, what are we going to do for the 150th year cycle ride? It would be something really special. And these two ideas came together of visiting these sites, but actually cycling around them. So it's about 225 miles over 4 days. There'll be lots of stopping and starting because it'll be an hour's ride, and then you'll be at the grave or where the soldier died, back on the bike. But yeah, 4 days of travelling pretty well from Amiens, so the southern end of the Western Front line for many of our troops, up to Ypres, which we well recognise because some of the fallen players died in that area. So the ride itself will pretty much be the front line of the First World War.
Wow, that's amazing. And for the people taking part, how many people are taking part in this, Chris?
I'll throw that over to Ben. I think there's...
Oh, Ben, come on, how many? Are you taking part?
Well, so I'll be in the support crew.
You'll be in the car behind taking the pictures.
I'm not quite made for riding that sort of distance on a bike, but we're aiming for 20 cyclists in total.
Wow,
then a few support. There are a few spaces open still if anyone's interested. It's one of them where normally our bike rides are purely about endurance. So last year was Cardiff all the way up to Newcastle in the span of like 3 days or something like that. And I mean that was exhausting even for me as a support crew. This one is exhausting in a different way. I think the emotional toll will be really prevalent. Taking in the information and the scenery as well. It's something that will not only stick with the person doing it, but also it'll be ingrained as a part of the history of the club
for the whole team going as well, and people back home will be able to follow it. All right, well, we'll talk a little bit about the history of Warrington Wolves because it's embedded really with Warrington, isn't it, the club, and we go back so many years, but also we'll find out how people can get involved and obviously what the money's going to go towards as well. So that's on the way next. Our special guests this morning, Ben Stiff and Chris Bent from Warrington Wolves Foundation, doing amazing charity work. We'll find out more. Walk, I said it's a cycle ride, isn't it? That's right, yeah. So we'll find out more next on Mix 56 after Craig David. Mix 56 is just gone 10:15. Our special guests this morning, Ben Stiff and Chris Bent, and we're talking about their amazing charity bike ride that's coming up for Warrington Wolves Foundation. And Chris, Warrington Wolves, what a history the club has here in Warrington.
Yeah, and I think I heard you saying earlier, and thanks for the plug you gave us about an hour ago, but never been out the top division, a proud history. I guess the one thing we all want is why we were so encouraged last Friday. We want a nice future as well.
Yeah,
we want the next few years.
And it's a club as well. I always feel with Warrington, the fans. Okay, last season it wasn't the best, but the fans stick with the club. It's embedded within the town and within our community, isn't it? And of course, with the great work that the foundation does as well.
I would have to say, I was in a meeting in Birmingham on Friday, so I couldn't get to the game, and I arrived kind of as there was the walk up to the ground. So I was walking from Banky Station through to the bus station, and it was remarkable. It was like something out of a Lowry painting. It seemed like the whole town, people were just walking up to the match. And I was just I remember looking at it thinking, I do hope this is a good result, because the buzz and the feeling before the game was amazing.
And also I think the crowd with rugby, football can get a bit rowdy, whereas rugby is kind of like a real family sport, isn't it? The kids can come, and mum and dad and granddad and grandpa can come, and
I think
grandma.
That's right. I think that's right, and I think it's really lovely seeing that different generations all going together, and it's nice when you talk it, whether you're a 19-year-old woman or an 88-year-old bloke, they're talking the same language.
It's true.
I think it is
true. Yeah. And Ben, obviously with the foundation, you are busy all the time. How much kind of money do you need, or is it endless, really, the kind of stuff you could do? The more money you got, the more you could do. Is that
it's
how
exactly
it
that. Obviously, the more we can bring in, the more we can invest into existing projects and new projects. There's never any talk of staying where we are. It's always that the goalpost is constantly moving. It's one of them of each project requires different amount of funding. For something like our Active Futures program, which is all about bringing kids that are on the verge of being excluded, bring them to the stadium. They have a few weeks with us, and they go back to school. And in an ideal world, they're changed. That requires time, resources, but really it's lots of giving yourself to it, and that's the main bit in all of it. I think all of our coaches, no matter the program you go to, you can see how invested they are personally into them.
And also the club are very supportive of you, aren't they? Because I've been to a few events where the players are there. I mean, the players are great. They get involved in community events, don't they? We did that event at Birchwood at the shopping centre there, and the players turned up, and see the kids meeting their heroes. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Oh, God. There's no way to put any sort of monetary value on that smile that the kid gets, or not even the kids, the adults. Sometimes the parents are just as excited to see them. It's almost like they're on that different world, and that void has been crossed, and now they're all together. But no, the players are great. The support we get from the club's amazing. Obviously, using the badge, it gets us into places that we maybe wouldn't be able to get into otherwise.
Of course.
So without that, I'm not quite sure where we'd be.
If there's any local businesses listening this morning in the area and they'd like to support the foundation, what's the best thing that they can do?
So there's a few options that we offer. You've got our business patronage scheme, which goes from bronze, silver to gold, depending on how much a business wants to, I suppose, donate monetary wise. But of course, there's all sorts of other venues where it's sponsoring a particular project. For the bike ride at the minute, that's a big one. We're trying to get a couple of jersey sponsors and support sponsors to sort of try and cover the cost a little bit. Obviously, it's more expensive than ever to get the ride going. Normally we stay internally in the UK. This time we're flying the riders out to France and everything.
So there's extra travel costs.
Yeah. The easiest way, for anyone to get involved is to probably find us on social media with the Warrington Wolves Foundation and drop us a message on there, or to email hello@warringtonwolvesfoundation.com. That would be the easiest way.
Ben, it's brilliant the work you do. Chris, just remind us of the event. When's it happening and how we can get involved and keep an eye on things?
Yeah, it's the 22nd of June, Monday, the 22nd of June.
Be a bit warmer.
Hopefully. Through to, mind you, I think the cyclists mightn't want 30 degree heat.
Well, this is true. Yeah, they probably want it freezing cold.
They will. Yeah. But yeah, it goes on. It's 4 days of the cycling, and then the 5th day is pretty much just getting home.
Yeah.
We'll hire a minibus from Ypres because I think the cyclists will be pretty tired and ready.
And a real sort of, it's great that it's happening, but also that reflection that so many of the boys didn't come home who fought for this country, and they were great athletes on the field, and the history of the club. So it's important that we do these kind of things.
And I think we've said, I think the foundation have been very keen to say this isn't about necessarily making money which is a great cause. This is as much about just respect and remembering, and we want the legacy of this to last. I think the idea of this is, once we've done it, the fact these stories have been unearthed, all the work that's going on behind the scenes for that. We want local schools to really buy into this. We're talking about George Thomas. Well, he lived in Stockton Heath, and I'm convinced the school there, he's named on their memorial. He's a Warrington rugby player who lived in Stockton Heath. You tell me a kid that wouldn't get engaged with that.
Yeah.
So I think we want this to have a life after the cycle.
I find it fascinating, the stories of people from many years ago that were involved, because obviously we see the players now and the training and when they're on the pitch, but to hear those stories, it was a tough time years ago, wasn't it, for many? So to hear their stories and to pay respects to them now and remember them, that's what it's all about.
And I think they were the thing that comes over in the First War and the Second War. These weren't professional soldiers. These were men that were doing all sorts of jobs who were pulled out of that.
Scary as well.
Absolutely.
If we were told now we had to go to war, it'd be really scary, wouldn't it? So,
most definitely.
Well, listen, good luck. and Mix56 are there with you on the journey. We'll keep our listeners up to date. If you can let us know what you're up to, maybe we can put a bit of a call into you when you're on your way, and we'll get you on the air and that. So thank you so much.
Thank you,
Chris. Great to meet you today.
You too,
and
sir.
Also Ben, well done for all the work. And you've had a little bit of a promotion, haven't you? You're looking after more stuff there.
My job title shifted a little bit from sort of just managing the social media to now marketing and communication.
Oh, that sounds so official.
Yeah. Well, so it better reflects my overall responsibilities, really. So.
You just get stuck in and do everything, really.
Yeah.
Great to see you, boys. Warrington Wolves Foundation doing a great job this year, and let's wish you loads of success with that.
Yeah, thanks
amazing
for having us.
cycle ride, and
much appreciated.
An event that we should remember, but also we should enjoy as well. That visit over there as well. So good to see you today, guys. Thank you so much. That is the Warrington Wolves Foundation, and we'll keep an eye on things, of course, as it happens in June this year. You're with Mix56, 6 minutes to 10 now. This is the new one from Harry Styles.